So the latest chapter of DanDaDan has basically confirmed to me my worst possible fears to say that Count Saint Germain, if not the main villain of the current arc, is definitely going to be the biggest threat going forward in this saga of DanDaDan, because not only is he directly targeting the protagonist group, the whole group, it seems. We've only seen him go after Okarun. We know that now he's also definitely, without a shred of doubt, connected to the woman that came after Momo last chapter. With her little dagger, was trying to absorb Momo's psychic abilities. Whether she is going to be the main problem and he is just the one pulling the strings in the background, I think we have a lot to be worried about. However, at the same time as I say that, one of my other worst fears has actually just been proven wrong, and I think that's at least something that we can be happy about, because it's definitely clear that Turbo Granny has not been defeated by Count Saint Germain. At least at this point, she has not. And I think we've also got some compelling evidence to believe that as well. So we definitely get full proof that the girl from last chapter was using one of Count Saint Germain's daggers to try and steal Momo's powers. She was also trying to do the entire yield thing, which we do see Count Saint Germain do against the fairy tale card when Count Saint Germain used the dagger against that yokai in order to steal its power. For some reason, it seems like Count Saint Germain's whole thing is that he must defeat the person in some way, shape, or form, whether that be an actual fight or a battle in the intellectual marketplace of debate, who knows? But the whole thing has to require that person yielding to the other. Even though Count Saint Germain is hiding in a locker, it's pretty clear that it's him behind the scenes telling the girl that she's using her powers wrong. Because if you remember last chapter, she was just shouting, "Momo, yield! Momo, yield!" Whereas as we see later, or earlier in this chapter, frankly, how Count Saint Germain effectively uses his ability even when his opponent may not even be aware they're currently in a fight right now. She is still new. This is just brand new abilities that she has been gifted. Whether he's hiding from her or hiding from us, despite it obviously being him, he is taking special care to make sure she is the one also help him in getting not just Momo, not just Okarun, but I believe everyone in the cast that has paranormal powers. We don't know what her connection is, but all we know is that she is struggling, supposedly, controlling the abilities that Count Saint Germain has given her. However, Count Saint Germain just says, hey, you know what? Just let it take you over. Let it consume you entirely, and that's the way you need to use this power. Let me just say, not that most people are gonna ever end up in this situation, but if you ever want to take any piece of advice from me ever in your life, never let the ghostly, spiritual, evil powers just take you over and consume you. Probably never, almost always never a good idea. I would almost always advise staying in control of the power, no matter what the alternative is. Better power, stronger abilities, you know, all of your hopes and dreams that this spirit is at. Don't do it. Don't do it. But the little men or gnomes that Momo saw in the library are actually stemming from this woman, whether that be the yokai that Count Saint Germain has given her in order to give her spiritual energy. The more that Momo is looking for these gnomes or these little people, the faster she's gonna end up encountering this girl again, who is only gonna get better, I imagine, at this whole I yield Reddit debate thing. However, I think at this point, that's what the protagonist cast is looking for, because after Momo reveals that she was just hunted by someone, obviously everyone in the protagonist group is gonna want to help Momo with that. So Momo is now gonna be hiding in Aira's breast pocket. That way, no one's gonna come after Momo because she's hidden, and Momo can point out to Aira whenever she walks by this crazy woman. Just an excuse to get right into the normal DanDaDan shenanigans, because obviously Okarun is trying to speak with Momo, who is right over here, and what do you know, Aira is like, hey, stop talking right to my boobs, you perv. Don't sexually harass me. I mean, it's totally cool if you sexually harass me, but Okarun, I want you to be honest about it. Don't do it secretly. Do it right in front of me. What a fucking weirdo. She is one of the craziest people in the world, Ira. I know someone out there definitely simps for her, but let me tell you right now, do not mess with crazy. That's what I've always been told, and that's the motto that I'm sticking by. It's just funny to see her constantly try to insert herself between Okarun and Momo and create the love triangle that is 110% not there. I love her character as a whole. Don't ever take that in any bad way. I also love Gigi, Bamora, Kintaka. All of these protagonists are so much fun, and I've come to appreciate them. Gigi and Bamora doing the love song with the maracas in the background. What fucking goofballs. These good times and all of these moments with all of these characters together, it really makes me concerned for what is about to happen, whether that be just because I do feel the foreboding doom that's coming slowly, or it's just the scars that Jujutsu Kaisen has left on me. I'm very worried that these may be the last couple times we are able to have a group feast at the end of our arcs. Maybe we're gonna get into some bad times, but good vibes, let's hope not. As we can finally get into the main portion of this chapter, which is, in my opinion, the short encounter between Okarun and Count Saint Germain, because it completely, for one, again shows that they are the targets now. Becoming the president of the paranormal group was all in hopes of getting close to these people and stealing their powers, because Count Saint Germain just wants to collect everything. And you know what? Whatever Yukinobu Tatsu is doing to make me hate this guy, he is accomplishing it full fold, because fuck this guy, Count Saint Germain. Oh my god. His little oh, no running the hallways, bruh. If you slam into someone, it'll be ouchie, ouchie. Such herbivore energy. If anyone understands what I mean, if anyone hears what I'm saying, you'll get what I mean. Herb, bro. Herb. After asking about different secrets that Okarun has uncovered so far, when Okarun is clearly rushing and busy and on his way, this guy refuses to let Okarun go and forces him to engage in intellectual debate in this moment. And it is interesting, the couple different little topics that Count Saint Germain does cycle between. One about how noise cancellation works, which is definitely an interesting concept. I was intrigued by that. You also have the phenomenon of how the vibrations of multiple different metronomes, if you start them all in a room, despite starting them at all different times, they will eventually sync together, which is interesting. And also how it all kind of comes together with the very controversial philosophical theory that human will isn't real whatsoever, and it's all the 90% of bacteria that make us up vibrating in a unison frequency that actually, has us respond to different things in our environment. We may feel like we're making normal thoughts. We may feel like these are our personalities and the emotions that we feel are real and they're all our own, but actually it has nothing to do with our brains, and it's all the bacteria that make us up that are just responding to stimuli in our environment in unique ways in every individual, which, you know what, is pretty scary shit. Very interesting. I mean, it's not cap. You can look this up and Google it. Swear to God, it's a real theory, and it's been scientifically, I wouldn't say proven, but the data is there to make the argument. It's a little controversial, very disregarded in the scientific community, and I can definitely understand why saying that we as a society of people don't actually have free will would be a controversial thought. But it also makes sense that just casually mentioning this to somebody in everyday conversation would definitely make them turn around, stop, and go, huh? Which is exactly what Okarun does, which puts Count Saint Germain in the perfect position to say, hey, you know what? Do you yield? I gave you all of these insane intellectual, topics, and you won't even talk to me. So will you say that I've won this debate, sir? Okarun, who doesn't even realize he was in a debate, as most social media conversations go nowadays in our God-given year of 2024. Okarun just obviously innocently goes, yeah, sure, I'll yield to you, whatever. In that moment, Count Saint Germain realizes something, and I think that's what this means, because obviously we know the dagger is required to then go ahead and steal the ability. However, Count Saint Germain decides not to and let Okarun run away. And I think the exact reason for this is because he no longer has Turbo Granny's curse. He's not connected to Turbo Granny. He doesn't have her power anymore. Now that he has his golden balls back, they left. They're gone. They're separated. And I think Count Saint Germain didn't know this yet. Confirms my hopes that Turbo Granny has not encountered this fool yet, this Jamoke, and they haven't actually had their big fight that I think they're going to have, because Turbo Granny definitely knows who Count Saint Germain is. We already got foreshadowing after the end of the Space Globalist arc with Turbo Granny getting mad at the sight of Count Saint Germain. The fact that Count Saint Germain's going after the protagonist, specifically the Turbo Granny's powers, and also employing other people to do it, it makes me very worried. Now, Count Saint Germain is, one, going to start looking in other places for Turbo Granny. Two, what is going to happen to our other protagonists who aren't as lucky? Ira with Acrobatic Silky, Gigi with the Evil Eye. We started the saga being upset that we lost Turbo Granny, being upset that what is Okarun gonna do? Even though we know Okarun's a physical, god now, right? Okarun's Toji Fushiguro reincarnated and isekai'd into the DanDaDan universe. If our other people who just dedicated, themselves to helping us as much as we can because Okarun and Momo are nerfed, it's not looking good if they lose their powers as well. So alls I know for the next coming chapters going forward, because who knows what to expect with Gnome Girl and whatever abilities she may have besides this, and what her next steps are going to be, what Count Saint Germain's next moves are going to be. I know for sure that we need Turbo Granny back ASAP. She needs to tell us what's going on, what the threats are. That's who we need right now, because we need help. We need help very, very badly. We are in a bad situation, and even though they are kind of piecing together the idea that, they both told me to yield, that was a little weird. I think that's not going to be enough to at least save all of them. Someone's gonna lose their powers here, and I'm scared to see who it's gonna be. But until then, thank you guys so much if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss any future DanDaDan content. I've also got all the yokai, all the aliens ranked on my main channel, so make sure you go check that out and subscribe over there. And I will definitely see you guys in the next one. Peace.